labor in which they no longer have a place, being relatively overpaid and underprotected, find themselves relegated to a lower France, the France of small and medium-sized towns and rural areas. Everywhere, from peripheral France, the part of the country that rejected the European Union by voting no in the 2005 referendum, to peripheral Britain, the land of Brexit, from peripheral America, the land of Trump, to peripheral Sweden, the vanguard of the European alt-right, and beyond. Economic globalization arouses the same spirit of populist revolt. It is owing to this very spirit that the higher France now finds itself in grave danger of losing control over the lower. The Maastricht Treaty of 1992 was the first shot across the bow, the referendum of 2005 the second. The existing order will finally break down, not as the result of some decisive event. It will break down as the result of a slow process of social and cultural disaffiliation on the part of the working class. The political class in the broadest sense, not only politicians but cultural leaders, intellectuals, and journalists, now begins to dread the prospect of a modern slave rebellion. For a new form of class conflict, which had long been assumed not to exist, is now plain for all to see. 1. The new citadels. The medieval citadels are back. In the globalized metropolises, a new kind of bourgeoisie has taken power, without hatred or violence. Wealth, jobs, and political and cultural power have been unobtrusively seized. Although the great divide in French society is often described as a confrontation between elites and the people, the system rests not only on elites, but also on a very sizable fraction of the population, a new upper middle class, which lives mainly in the major cities and which has supported the economic policies of the upper class for 30 years now. Unlike the old bourgeoisie, its successors understand that economic and cultural domination will be all the more effective as it is exercised in the name of the common good and openness. From Bordeaux to Lyon to Paris, the new bourgeoisie votes for center-left or center-right candidates representing the global economy and resides for the most part in the 15 largest urban centers of France. Disguised as hipsters, the new gentrifiers busy themselves scrambling for the spoils left over from the modern-day hunt, which is to say, the plundering of French society through the imposition of a new economic order, the Anglo-Saxon model of globalization. This radical change was accomplished with little public protest or dissent by means of a contrived opposition between the enlightened and forward-looking champions of an open society and the blinkered defenders of the past, who call on France to take refuge behind closed borders. The voice of the working class, now associated with the camp of withdrawal, became inaudible. The dominant classes, for their part, having now at last disposed of the social question, were free to impose their view of the world in the name of modernity, openness, even equality. After several decades during which the economic and social landscape has been quietly reconfigured, the higher France now lives undisturbed in the safety of its new citadels. If global metropolises are the most visible evidence of this state of affairs, their invisible ramparts, the social and cultural supremacy of the new bourgeoisie, illustrate still more plainly the tendency to associate with one's own kind, known as self-segregation. Behind the myth of the open and egalitarian society of the cosmopolitan urban centers, then, we are witnessing the return of the closed towns of the Middle Ages, and the consolidation of an inegalitarian model of the Anglo-Saxon type. This reality is obscured by the manufacture of a